we kicked this off kind of mentioning that there were three options on the marketplace, and I think one of the demands in the market since I've been in the operator space was, what if I just need one simple 100 gig that needs to go further than 40 kilometers? So I need to interconnect two sites at 100 gig. I don't need DWDM necessarily. I just need distance. What's out there? You know, we know that there's a kind of an ER solution to get right around 40 kilometers, but what's out there now to get beyond 40 if you just need a simple kind of single lambda solution that's not DWDM?
Yeah, absolutely. So the new QSFP28 100G ZR4 solution is new on the market, and this is a gray optic solution. And to your point, John, we're in this current shift or under to getting more bandwidth out to the access network. This is coming at a really opportune time where we can go 100 gig up to 80 kilometers on that gray optic. So if you're moving, increasing your bandwidth out to the edge of the network, you're not going to have the whole long haul redundancy and things like that you need to leverage, multiple wavelengths or multiple connections. You may have a 10 gig connection today. You need to go to 100 gig. And I think that's what we're seeing is that 10 gig to 100 gig is really the driver here that's going to make this optic really be very, very much in demand here as we move into 2021.
And Ray, when we think about gray optic, just to kind of clarify it for our viewers, this is a traditional single lambda 1310 nanometer over duplex single mode fiber with an LC connector. So literally what an end user might have experienced with a 10 kilometer or 40 kilometer optic is now a drop-in replacement 100 gig 80 kilometer transceiver, correct?
Yeah, it's a 100 gig drop in place. So if you have a 10 gig ZR today in place and you want to upgrade that to 100 gig, you can drop in a 100 gig ZR4 today and it will upgrade that link. So yeah, it'll be a drop-in upgrade without any additional amplification or anything like that. It should be a direct upgrade.
They say all good things that sound too good to be true might be. So let's talk about kind of the cons or the potential drawback of the QSFP28 ZR4. And I think they're fairly limited. The technology is robust and it's reliable. The links work. Throughput is good. But to get 80 kilometers on a 1310 nanometer laser, I would guess you need quite a bit of power. So would you want to kind of elaborate on kind of that one gotcha? You mentioned it on the PAM4. I think it's just as potentially relevant here, maybe not quite as bad.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the power does use quite a bit of power. So you're talking anywhere from 5.5 watt to 6 watt type of power is what these particular transceivers use. The other, I wouldn't call that gotcha, but the other thing to keep in mind is that it does require FEC on the link to go 80 kilometers. So FEC is required, but, considering that, FEC is used in, nearly, whole lot of applications today, it's probably not that big of a deal. But those are the only real gotchas there, I think, other than the fact you can only do one connection, right, over that. But other than that, you're over that fiber pair. But other than that, that comes with the territory with this optic.
And Ray, the ProLabs QSFP28 ZR4 is a fairly new product, but my understanding is we're now shipping it in volume into the carrier space, and we're hearing tremendously positive feedback on the simplicity of completing a link upgrade. You mentioned the drop-in from 10 to 100. Yeah,
absolutely. So we're shipping it with Oem Compatibility today. I think we've got all the major OEMs covered today, Cisco, Juniper, etc. I think there's a couple OEMs out there that, the power doesn't quite work out with, but that's pretty well known in the industry. And, there's other ways to work around that, I suppose. I think the big thing, as you mentioned there, is just, this whole nature of 10 gig to 100 gig. Really, that's what our customers are coming to us for and asking us for. And that's, where this particular, where we're seeing the opportunity here and where it's going to ship in volume.
It's really exciting to see the continued evolution to 100 gig. Having started my career when we thought 10 megabits was the fastest thing on the planet, And then 100 came along, and we thought we'd never use more than 100 megabits, and then gigabit, and then 10 gigabit, and now 40 and 100. And we're already seeing 400 gig shipping in volume in the data center, and 800 gig on the horizon, very near horizon. The excitement around kind of throughput and the hunger for information and bandwidth just continues to drive the industry and our business in really new and interesting ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when we look at this optic, 80 kilometers, 100 gig, so probably, probably 4 years ago when the QSFP28 100 gig really got on the market, it was, oh man, we can go 10 kilometers with this. And then, 30 kilometers with, 40 kilometers of FEC with the ER4 light. And here we are at, 80 kilometers. And, this is what that 80 kilometers, 100 gig has been the driver for a very long time. So we're extremely excited about this product. We're extremely excited about the 100 gig moving into the access, and glad we could be part of this, part of the solution.